Well, I'm gonna have fun trying to explain this one. I don't know what I was expecting from Nikamma, but whatever it was not like the trailer at all. I went into this thinking, oh, I know what's going on here. This looks like Saving Silverman meets My Super Ex-Girlfriend, because who wouldn't want that combination? Well, not quite. This only happens like twice in the movie, and it's just a fantasy sequence. If anything, our lead is the one with powers, considering not only his superhuman strength, but also the uncanny ability to flash back and lip read in locations that he wasn't even in. The movie starts out about a D who is not happy that his brother has gotten married to Shilpa Shetty. No reason, he's just not happy about it, because I guess he likes to whine and throw tantrums a lot. And throw tantrums he does, whether it's him getting pissed she has the nerve to watch TV in her own home, or makes him fill out an application which he bitches about and uses to roll food in. As for the jokes, oh, it's a collection of some laugh track TGIF zingers, like him saying to a couple of kids, "Why aren't you in school?" And they're like, "'Cause it's Sunday!" What? Or when she makes him cut tomatoes and he doesn't like it, so then she makes him cut onions, and that makes him have to put on a helmet on account of they're so smelly. Adi is so goddamn unlikable that in no way did I want to see him with a romantic interest. But too late, he's instantly in love with a college student who immediately says she wants to marry him. That way we get romantic lines, like him saying, "Are you an alcoholic or a drug addict?" And she goes, "I'm a love addict." Excellent. They get shit-faced and sing a song with the lyrics, "Let me get drunk and take the plunge." So I'd already settled into this is just what this movie is gonna be, and then a completely different movie happens when it cuts to a body bag that a crime lord pops out of and says, "See, I told you I can't die." I was not expecting this movie to suddenly get into the backstory of a villain who burns 40 people alive in a bus explosion. In the span of like 5 minutes, we go from, "Ha ha, I'm a love addict," to a dude saying, "Do you know how traumatic it is to see your daughter in a pile of dead bodies?" And then it shows us her charred corpse. Admittedly, though, this was when the movie got a little more interesting, because the villain does have some good lines. He puts a gun to his head and says, "So if I shoot myself, that'll end corruption, right?" And his lackey literally goes, "No, bro." Then he shoots a man in the head and says, "Anyone who tries winning me over wins death." I assure you, this is still a romantic comedy. When it went back to a D being a dick to his girlfriend, I was like, can we go back to the villain, please? He's way more likable. The plot lines do tie in when he wants Avni, the sister-in-law, dead because she's a government officer who repossessed his cars. He and Adi come to a gentleman's agreement that he has 10 days to try to protect her from getting killed. This movie isn't good, but it did get a little better as it went along, if anything, because it then just turned into the hero murdering axe and machete-wielding henchmen. He does have an arc in the movie, but he was written so unlikable before that I really didn't care. There's still a lot of stupid shit that happens in the second half. It does tone down the sitcom jokes, but then it'll do things like he's threatening to set the house on fire, and the bad guys go, "You know, that'll burn her alive too." And he says, "No, she's sleeping, and I doused her blanket with coolant, so she'll be fine." Oh, and I love when the bad guy grants them a safe day just so they can go to a wedding anniversary party and have another musical number. There's also a twist that makes no sense because it shows that this plot could have been wrapped up in like 5 minutes, but then just when you think it's over, it introduces another predicament that makes it go on 20 minutes longer. I can see why this has worse reviews than Hiropanti 2. Though in this one, the filmmaking was consistent. In Hiropanti 2, it would go from epic action sequences to then looking like a TV movie. but the experience of seeing Hiropanti 2 was better in the sense that Laura and I went to go see it, and we were the only ones there, so we could make comments during it, especially how perplexed we were when watching the film. With this, she had to work, so I saw it in an empty theater by myself, and it was 100 degrees outside, and the AC didn't work in the theater, so I was sitting there sweating bullets with my head sticking to the seat, and the movie was 2.5 hours long. But I don't know if I'd say it's this bad. I have seen far worse this year, but the movie is still pretty bad. I'll give it a D+, because it's not forgettably bad. I can't say I was ever really bored. The action scenes are fine. It's just a tonal mess with really bad jokes and an unlikable lead character. But even with that, he is good in the action scenes. But I've still got a headache from my head sticking to the seat. Okay, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel today, and stick around because we'll have reviews coming up this week for The Black Phone and Elvis, and we'll see you next time.